The Man Who Was Number 16 by Agatha Christie, narrated by Peter Coates. Part 1. Tommy and Tuppence were closeted with the chief in his private room. His commendation had been warm and sincere. "You have succeeded admirably. Thanks to you, we have laid our hands on no less than 5 very interesting personages, and from them we have received much valuable information. Meanwhile, I learned from a creditable source that headquarters in Moscow have taken alarm at the failure of their agents to report. I think that in spite of all our precautions, they have begun to suspect that all is not well at what I may call the distributing centre, the office of Mr. Theodore Blunt, the International Detective Bureau." "Well," said Tommy, "I suppose they were bound to tumble to it some time or other, sir. As you say, it was only to be expected. But I am a little worried about Mrs. Tommy." "I can look after her all right, sir," said Tommy, at exactly the same minute as Tuppence said, "I can take care of myself." Said Mr. Carter. "Excessive self-confidence was always a characteristic of you two. Whether your immunity is entirely due to your own superhuman cleverness, or whether a small percentage of luck creeps in, I'm not prepared to say, but luck changes, you know. However, I won't argue the point. From my extensive knowledge of Mrs. Tommy, I suppose it's quite useless to ask her to keep out of the limelight for the next week or two." Tuppence shook her head very energetically. "Then all I can do is to give you all the information that I can. We have reason to believe that a special agent has been dispatched from Moscow to this country. We don't know what name he's travelling under. We don't know when he will arrive. But we do know something about him. He is a man who gave us great trouble in the war. A ubiquitous kind of fellow who turned up all over the place where we least wanted him. He is Russian by birth and an accomplished linguist, so much so that he can pass as half a dozen other nationalities, including our own. He is also a past master in the art of disguise, and he has brains. It was he who devised the number 16 code. When and how he will turn up I do not know, but I'm fairly certain that he will turn up. We do know this. He was not personally acquainted with the real Mr. Theodore Blunt. I think he will turn up at your office on the pretext of a case that he will wish you to take up, and will try you with the passwords. The first, as you know, is the mention of the number 16, which is replied to by a sentence containing the same number. The second, which we have only just learnt, is an inquiry as to whether you have ever crossed the Channel. The answer to that is, "I was in Berlin on the 13th of last month." As far as we know, that is all. I would suggest that you reply correct.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?